Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about chapter 6, the cardiovascular system. Specifically, we're going to focus on the blood. Some amazing facts about the heart. So the heart pumps 75 milliliters of blood with each contraction. So on average, the heart beats 70 times per minute. So therefore, the heart pumps roughly 5,250 milliliters per minute. So that means the entire blood supply is circulating each minute. So some amazing things about the heart. So the function of the blood falls into three general categories: transport, defense, and regulation. So within the blood, there's a transport of oxygen, nutrients, waste, carbon dioxide, and hormones. And it also helps to fight against pathogens. So some of the white blood cells, what they do is they actually eat the microbes, and others produce what are called antibodies, which are basically proteins that help to disable the pathogens. And it protects also against food loss by producing clotting. When it comes to regulation, it actually helps to keep a constant temperature. It also, the proteins that are dissolved within the plasma, it maintains what is called osmotic pressure, and it actually helps regulate the body's water and salt balance. And it also serves as a buffer system, which basically regulates the pH of the blood that is constant within like 7.4. So blood is what is called a connective tissue that is formed by cells and cell fragments, and these are suspended within the plasma. So the form elements are produced in the red bone marrow. So here you have what are called red blood cells and erythrocytes. So this contains stem cells. So stem cells are cells that can be turned into any type of cells. You also have white blood cells or leukocytes, and also platelet thrombocytes. Plasma, it's the liquid amber color part of the blood. So it consists of 95% water and 9% salt and organic molecules. So the solids help maintain the osmotic pressure of blood. Salts actually acts as a buffers in other solids such as nutrients, weights, and hormones. So the plasma proteins are the most abundant organic molecules, and so most are produced by the liver, and they actually create osmotic pressure in the blood. So this is a bio that shows the percentage composition by volume. So plasma it makes 55% of blood, and if you break down the plasma, 91% is water, 7% are proteins such as albumins, globulins, fibrinogens, and then 2% are actually other solids such as nutrients, waste, product gases, and hormones. And then cells and platelets actually make 45% of the blood. So there are three major types of proteins found within the plasma. So you have albumins. So this is the most abundant of the plasma proteins. They contribute to osmotic pressure. They transport molecules in the blood. You also have globulins. Some of these actually transport substances within the blood, and others such as gamma globulins fight pathogens. Then you also have fibrinogens. So these are regularly inactive, and so whenever they're activated, they form blood clots. The red blood cells, so those are erythrocytes. So the main purpose of the red blood cells is actually to carry oxygen within the body. So we see that the red blood cells have this kind of like a concave shape, and the purpose of that is to increase the surface area. And then within the red blood cells, you actually find the protein hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is the one that actually carries the oxygen throughout the body. Again, the main purpose of the red blood cells is basically to carry oxygen throughout the body. And this is extremely crucial because the different parts of your body require oxygen. So within the red blood cells, you have a very important protein called the hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin is what gives the red blood cells its color red. So each red blood cell can carry up to 4 oxygen molecules. So when oxygen is bound to the hemoglobin, this is called oxymohemoglobin. And then whenever the oxygen leaves, this is called deoxyhemoglobin. So here we have an image of that red blood cell. This is very distinct. This is the only cell that has this kind of like rounded donut shape. Again, the purpose of the red blood cell is just to carry oxygen within the body. Let's talk a little about how carbon dioxide is transported within the blood. So 7% of the carbon dioxide is transported or dissolved in the plasma. 23% is bound to the globin part of the hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin bound to carbon dioxide is called carboaminohemoglobin. So 70% is transported in the plasma as bicarbonate ion. So this is basically a reaction that happens in your body. So here you have carbon dioxide that actually interacts with water, and that forms carbonic acid, and then that dissociates into hydrogen ions and bicarbonate ions. So the red blood cells are actually produced in the bone marrow, and so as the red blood cells are produced, they actually lose the nucleus and most of the organelles. So this is an important fact because the red blood cells are one of the only cells that actually don't have a nucleus. And so without a nucleus, they can actually not make proteins and they cannot repair themselves. So they only live up to about 120 days. And so the all worn out cells are removed by macrophages in the liver and the spleen. And so that this shape of the red blood cells allows it to basically go through small capillaries and actually increases the surface area. So erythropoietin, so this is a hormone that is produced by the kidneys when the oxygen levels of the blood are low. And the purpose of this protein is actually to stimulate the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells.